Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. But if you watch this show regularly, you know that on Thursdays we are joined by the one and only Eric Goranson from around the house Northwest, always here with some advice and preview of this week's episode, and a lot of things that I think people can utilize and really learn from your experience in so many different ways. And this one, DIY projects, that is something everybody out there is, I'm sure a lot of people are working on, but they can get expensive really fast.
Man, they can. Good to see you, my friend. It's really bad out there with material prices. I mean, I was just looking at some cedar fencing, pricing it out, and instead of it being like $2 a 1x6, it's like almost $8. So
Whoa.
it's really expensive right now for cedar and things like that. So the first tip I have for everybody is plan that project and the materials you need from start to finish. Make it like a dance, choreograph this thing. Okay, here's my 12 steps, my 20 steps, and plan what you're going to do and just buy the materials you need, buy a little extra, but don't go out and just go, I'm going to figure it out, because if you have to do it twice, it gets crazy expensive because it's already expensive out there to begin with.
Yeah, so actually figuring out what it is that you want to do piece by piece, going through it.
Yeah, first step, okay, I'm going to take everything out that I'm going to rebuild, whatever you're doing. Okay, I'm going to pre-paint something. I'm going to just go through the entire step and visualize each step. It's just like do the ultimate planning. Okay, I'm going to do this. I need this tool. I need this. Work your way through whatever that project is. And that way you know what the expenses are going to be. You can budget now for it. And you can take a look if you're saying, okay, I got to do this in the next couple of months. You can be jumping online, checking your local home improvement store, lumberyard, or wherever you're buying materials. And you can start shopping that and paying attention for those deals, or when lumber prices go up and down, depending on what you're looking to do.
I love it. Yep, that's a good idea. That way you're ready to go and can snap up a deal if it does show up. Yeah, smart. So plan all of your stuff out.
The contractors are planning it out that way. As a homeowner with probably less experience, I would do it even more so.
Yeah, yep, very good idea. So plan out your project. What's another thing people should be doing?
If you don't have the tools, you can either go buy inexpensive ones or go down to your favorite tool rental center and go rent them for the day or for a couple days. I don't go out. I don't have an excavator. I don't have any of those big tools like that, because I'm just going to run down to the home improvement store and get it. And here's a little tip. I recommend either hitting your local rental store, not so much the big box stores. My exception is like Park Rose Hardware. That's a secret one out there that nobody knows that has a tool rental center. And you can go in there. It's super inexpensive. And the stuff's like brand new versus some of the other centers. You get it. It's like, okay, this is on its last leg. It's barely going to work. They've got brand new tools and it's probably cheaper anyway. So if you can save money and get a better tool that'll make the job easier, and when you're done with it, clean it up, take it back. You don't have to store it and you don't have to go buy it.
Yeah, not investing all that money in something that you're going to use twice, maybe, if that. Yeah. So definitely renting.
Renting's good, but instead of going out and buying the $400 special drill, you can also run down to some of the places like Harbor Freight and those kind of places where you run down to those stores and pick something up for 20% of the cost. And if you're only using it now and then, it'll do great. Some of those things now, those tools have really come up in quality depending on the line that you get. So you can get a pretty pro tool with those guys for a lot less money than one of the big brands you see at the home improvement store.
I love going there and take a look, for some of those good deals for things like that. So either rent or find something, if you're just using it a few times, find a cheaper, or a less expensive version that still may be just as good for what you're doing. So, all right. So good advice so far. Anything else that you think people should be?
Yeah. If you're painting, and we've talked about this before, but if you're going to go tackle a painting project, maybe you're going to get stuff done before the holidays here coming up, buy the better paint, because you can go in there and buy 4 gallons of the cheap paint or 2 gallons of the more expensive paint and do 1 or 2 coats versus 2 to 4 coats. Save yourself a ton of time, have something that'll be more durable anyway. You get what you pay for. And if you get those nicer paints, you don't have to go get the crazy $100 a gallon stuff. But if you get that $50 to $70 gallon stuff, You'll do half the work. It'll look better and hold up longer if you've got a bright color.
Nice. So I know you mentioned that before, as you were saying, yeah, buy the better quality rather than the cheap stuff, where you're gonna have to double it up anyway, probably.
And another tip for you, if you're doing a bigger remodeling project, like you're doing a bathroom or a kitchen, hire that designer. If you find the right designer for that, maybe it's a kitchen designer, bathroom designer, to help you through the process, someone that's got years of experience, it'll save you money every time. You might have to spend some money to do it, to hire them, but really it's going to be one of those things that in the long run, you're going to have a better looking project. You're going to have their expertise guiding you along the way and have an advocate for you in the process. So really, that designer, you'll pay a little bit more up front, but it'll make the project go quicker and you'll have less mistakes or less do-overs because you're like, I had no idea that was going to look that way. They're the ones who are going to help guide you through that. So every time that designer, if you hire the right one, it's going to save you money every single time.
That's interesting. I never thought of that before. So yeah, pay for that designer if you're going to be doing a major remodel like that.
Yeah, you think about it, you know, for a kitchen designer out there, for someone there to design out a kitchen and put the cabinets in there, it usually takes somebody to go through college or go through 4 to 8 years of life experience doing it every single day. You as a homeowner sitting down on a computer program trying to do it yourself, you're going to make all those rookie mistakes everybody else does. And if you have to buy an extra 5 or 6 cabinets, you probably could have paid the designer to do it for you, and it would have been a better project. And they're really up to date on the latest trends, styles, and of course the right way to do it.
Yeah, all of that being good ideas right there. So pay for a designer. Yeah, get a designer up front. I like that idea. Well, anything else? I mean, this is all a lot of great advice that you just had right there.
Yeah, I mean, if sometimes it's cheaper to hire a contractor. I mean, my experience is many times with like insulation, if you're going to insulate your attic, I've had it where I've gotten prices from insulation contractors cheaper than I could actually go down and buy the materials at the home improvement store. So don't be afraid to get some quotes on stuff. Sometimes it's cheaper because they're buying it cheaper. And then by the time they put their labor in it and they're competitive, some products have a ton of markup at the home improvement store. Sometimes they can do it cheaper than you can buy it, and have the pro do it if it's cheaper. Come on.
Yeah, have the pro do it, and you don't have to get in there and crawl around in the insulation. Yeah, that's definitely.
You watch a game or something while they're working.
Yep, yep, 100%. I like that idea too. So look for the experts when the experts are going to help you in the long run.
Yeah, and there's sometimes those things, it's just going to save you money. So why pay more to do it yourself?
Yep. All right. Well, anything else for DIY, or should we talk about around the house?
I mean, that's the big one right there. And again, just do your research. I would much rather buy things at my local store to know what I'm getting. There are a ton of knockoff stuff out there. Because literally, I could go in, as an example, I could go into a big box store and grab like a Kohler or Delta American Standard faucet off, ship it off overseas. I could have a pallet in about 4 weeks of copies of that showing up. And if nobody catches it coming through customs, guess what? I could be selling that online tomorrow. And then when you go buy repair parts down the road, when it doesn't work right, you can't buy them. So make sure you get it from a reliable source like your local plumbing store, your local lighting store. The online stuff can be hit and miss. You could be getting knockoffs and you won't know it till it fails.
All right. So there you go. Get the good stuff, or at least go to someplace where you can talk to them. The real stuff. Yeah, the real stuff. That's the better.
Get what you're paying for. Get what you're paying for.
Exactly. All right. Well, for Around the House Northwest this week.
We got a fun show. We go out and take a look at a new home by Affinity Homes out at the Parade of Homes with the Vancouver Parade of Homes up there. That was awesome. And then we had a fun project. We went out to actually meet these guys. It's a metal roofing company. We went out and took a look at how they make metal roofing and siding. So it comes off the rolls and then they bend it up into the right, pattern to do metal roofing and siding. And you used to see it on commercial buildings, but now you're seeing it on all sorts of different houses. So we go take a look and talk to those guys. And then here's another savings one here. I had a trash cleanup guy come out here and help me pick up my place with a bunch of different project stuff that I had from all the DIY projects I do here. And they do all the work for you. And it's about the price to take it yourself. And it's cheaper than going to rent a truck to go to the dump, and they're recycling it anyway. So there's a lot of cool stuff and a way to save money in this week's episode. Nice.
And everybody likes to save money. So definitely a way to check that out. I'm really curious about that metal roofing. I want to see how that works. And
it's cool. And they've got, they've done stuff out there where, we show one that turned out really cool. This is one thing I was surprised is they had one that looked like driftwood, like beechwood, just that wood grain, but it was metal. You're standing 5 feet away from it, and it looked like some kind of a driftwood board, but it was printed on the metal. And so you get that 40, 60-year warranty with it. So you put it on once and forget about it.
Wow, crazy. Okay. Yeah, and that's all something that everybody can check out on this week's episode and taking a look at all that. So for everyone out there, when, where, and how can they watch?
All right. Of course, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., you can catch last week's episode if you miss it of the new Around the House here Northwest. And then Saturday morning, 10 a.m., Fox 12 Plus again. And then Sunday night at 6. And then, of course, we got a million different videos out there, over 500 of them on the Fox 12 YouTube, like yours.
There we are. Yep. All of yours are on there. All of the Fox 12 Now segments are on there, and the segments of us together are on there. So everybody can go watch all of those and take a look and find some helpful advice. And as always, Eric, great to have you on here. And for everybody who's joining us, thanks for doing so. This is Fox 12 Now. We live stream here every weekday, and we've got Eric on pretty much every Thursday with his tips and tricks and advice and previews of Around the House Northwest. So thanks for being here with us. But I think that's it for right now. We'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now. See ya.